We will need some door prizes. We'll have goodie bags that the fly fishermen, they donate, but if you have something from your business that you might want to put in a goodie bag that's kid-friendly, that'd be good. And then, so we need, anybody who wants to come. You can bring your family out that day. It is also the day of the clay shoot, so you can't really do both, but anybody who wants to help with that, we appreciate your help, and just get with me and let me know. And then starting in June, we will have the applications out for the Citizen of the Year, and that is going to be on August the 5th, a recognition luncheon for that. Okay, Team 2.
I'm part of Team 2, and we are fundraising, and we're going to do a little bit opposite of that this coming year. I'm part of both the board for the Rotary Club and also for the board itself here for the foundation. We've decided, because we are constantly tapping each other on the back for money, we're going to take a year off. We have enough money in both accounts to give us about 12 months worth of funds to help us not have to do a raffle and do an auction. As you know, that some of those auctions and raffles have come down each year. Last year were $2,700 for the raffle, $2,300 for the auction, when typically we would make between $5,000 and $6,000 for the raffle, and between $4,000 and $5,000 the first year we did the auction. But that means we're going to be called to a higher call next year when we reinstitute these two fundraisers. So tip of the cap to us getting to the point where we're in a positive spot inside both of these accounts, but we have a lot of work to do coming 2020. That's not to say we won't do small little fundraisers like we've done in the past with UK tickets and things of that like to keep us solvent. I see John looking at me like, I don't know what Jim's doing this 2019-2020 presidential year, but if you have any questions about it, feel free to tap me on the shoulder. Thanks.
Okay, Team 3.
Whoa. I talk too loud. We are the gurus of community service, mobilizing behind organizations that are taking care of people locally and globally, but we focus on more the local part. So every quarter we pick out now 2 nonprofits that Rotarians that we can give money to, that's matched up to $500 total by the foundation. We also provide volunteer opportunities. So the first quarter it's been Go Pantry and New Perceptions. It's not that you can't volunteer all year long. So for example, see Sean Carroll, if you want to volunteer and have a great day, volunteer at New Perceptions. But we want to encourage you to do that first quarter. Second quarter is going to be New Day Ranch, which is equine therapy. Gary Wilmoff is real involved with them, and also Mary Rose Mission. And by the 25th, and in the newsletter, we'll tell you how you can volunteer in the second quarter with those 2 groups. One of our illustrious members, Woody Mueller, is going to tell you a little bit about really a community service program that he's been instrumental in starting called Give Where You Live.
Thanks, Roger. You may have heard about Give Where You Live Northern Kentucky. We partnered with Horizon Community Funds for a unique way of giving back to a Northern Kentucky nonprofit. So if you're passionate about a specific Northern Kentucky nonprofit and want the chance to submit their name for a large financial grant every quarter, Give Where You Live Northern Kentucky is the way to do that. It's a membership organization. You pledge $100 per quarter for 4 quarters. So each person's pledging $400 for the year. We have a brief quarterly meeting where you submit the name of your favorite nonprofit. We draw 3 names out of a bucket randomly. Those 3 people get up, spend 5 minutes about talking about that nonprofit, why they deserve the funds that night, and then as a group we vote on one of those. So that evening, if we have 100 people in the room, $10,000 will be awarded to that nonprofit that evening, right then and there, in less than an hour meeting. It's just a unique, fun way of giving back to a Northern Kentucky nonprofit. They have to have an impact in Boone, Kenton, or Campbell County to be eligible, be a 501c3 organization. But just a very brief way of doing it, small financial commitment, small time commitment, and try to have some fun at the same time. So if you're interested, the website is nkYgives.org, and our first meeting is March 21st from 6 to 7:30. But all the information is available on the website, or I can answer those questions for you. But thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, team 4.
Frank. Team 4 is the vocational service team, and we collected today, and we will for the next couple of weeks for the police lunch. Proud to announce that Ian told me that we sold 31 lunches today. And that's awesome with the number of people that we have here, so thank you everybody for contributing to that. And thank you also, Gary, for working on that this morning. The other announcement I'd like to make is I was contacted by Cooper High School. Their Career and Technology Education Advisory Committee is having a meeting. It's a 1-hour meeting at the school coming up on April 2nd between 3 and 4 p.m. And in that is an advisory committee to give parents and students feedback on what's important for them to learn in the classroom for their skills going into the workforce. So if you'd like to bring your business knowledge, that's all you need to do, nothing to prepare, and spend an hour talking with about the curriculum in the schools. Please do that or see me afterward for that. Sign up for, you don't actually have to sign up, but it's April 2nd, 3 to 4 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, well, our fearless leader's not here, so I'm gonna step in for him. One thing we're gonna tag on to Donald with the lunches, and as he mentioned, 31 were purchased today, I think 190 to go, is that correct? 190 lunches? Around there.
189.
189, okay. We're gonna try to do a press release to invite the public to also purchase those lunches, and we'll get something up on the website where they can make donations there. We'll also do a Facebook campaign to see if we can get people to do that. One thing we will do, I think the price is $10. If you donate online, we're gonna add $1 to that to cover the processing costs. So it'll be $11 if you do that online. We are looking for people for the ad buttons for the newsletter. So if you look at the newsletter on the side, there's ad buttons. Those are $100. We currently have about 30 of those. We're looking for 40. So we have 10 more of those we're wanting to get. You receive publicity in the newsletter, and then we're also going to have a rotating screen on the front of the website so that people will see that you're a supporter of Rotary. The International Festival, which has been mentioned before, that's been postponed to 2020. It's a joint effort. And there it goes. Joint effort among Rotaries in the area. But there's going to be an international festival that Pinconning Schools is doing March 23rd at Pinconning High School from 11 to 3. So I think a number of people from the committee is going to go over to that international festival, see how it's done, maybe see if there's a way we can tag onto it. We might have a table there for Rotary because it is an international affair and we're an international organization. So it's a way to get words out about the exchange program, Interact, and different things, and trying to get host families for the exchange students. If anyone has community events, because you're Rotarian, we do have space at the end of the newsletter. So like Carrie was talking about, she's got a Holocaust survivor coming to the library. Just send those to Neville and he can get those at the end of the newsletter. And the business cards that have been handed out, so far 2 have been redeemed. So if you need cards, see Carrie or Jim or Ian, they have them at the front desk. That entitles someone to a free lunch. And the senior exit interviews, I looked at the signups. Cooper's is pretty close to being full. Boone still needs quite a few people, and Ryle just opened theirs up. So if you go to the website, on the right-hand side, there's the blog listing, like previous postings there. If you click on that, it'll take you to one page, and there's links to all 3 of those signups on one page.
Thank you. So my name is Frank. I'm with Team 6, and we just did a survey of our membership. We had about 40 people take part of that survey. We were asking feedback around the mentoring process in the organization. Jim and I attended the Leadership Institute back maybe a month or 2 ago, and it seemed like that's a pretty good best practice. And most of the clubs that have minimal turnover of membership have deployed those types of techniques. So we're going to be implementing that. We did have about 10 people say that they wanted to participate that are outside of Team 6, which is awesome. So we'll be setting that process up and getting the criteria and what people are gonna need to do and getting all that stuff vetted and out. So our team will develop it and then we'll push it out to the people that are gonna be a part of the process. Just as a heads up as well, our club, our team here is really responsible for orientation and mentoring and things along those lines. So we will do an orientation sometime in April, so we'll announce that at a later date.
Team 7 is the international team. This time of year, typically we have the Paul Harris dinner. The calendar this year, we're not gonna have the dinner in the spring. We'll move that to November, which is the Rotary month for Foundation anyway. Instead, on June the 10th, and I hope you all be there, at our regular lunch meeting, we're gonna recognize all the folks in the club who became a Paul Harris this year. That day was gonna be our raffle. As Jim mentioned, we're not gonna do a raffle this year, but instead we're gonna have a regular lunch. We hope you're all here to celebrate the people that have become Paul Harris Fellows this year by giving $1,000 to the foundation. And in the fall, sometime beginning of November, we'll have our annual dinner, and that'll be a fun night. This year, our club turned 75 years old. We were chartered in October 1944. So Paul Harris dinner in the fall, the upcoming year with Frank being president. Look for a lot of fun things that are going to involve 75. $75, 75 diamonds.
Hi, we're the New Generations team, and first of all, I'll go with old business. I promised to give everybody an update last week on how much we took in from the murder mystery dinner, how much we profited. And it was between the tickets, which was about $2,300, and the blind auction, which we made $2,200, we made about $4,500 in profit. So we're good there. So we now have in our bank account $4,800. So, but that doesn't get us to our goal of $17,000. Some of you have asked how much we need to raise for the trip, and that's $1,000 per person. The majority of that goes towards the airfare. The balance of it goes to our bus transportation while we're there. Nothing else, we don't have to pay for anything else when we're there in the Dominican Republic. The Rawlings Foundation feeds us and houses us at no cost to us. So we're still in the fundraising mode, and on that note, if any of you know of a corporation that might consider sponsoring one of our youth, that would get us closer to our goal of a total of $17,000. I have to pay for the airfare the early part of May, and so I would need the funds in our bank account by the end of April. On another note, our scholarships are in the process. Our scholarship luncheon will be the last Monday of April, and I already have about 10, which is pretty typical, by the way, scholarships at home. And most of them come in the last week or after just after the postmark date. So I'm not worried at this point in time. I think we're doing fine there. Dave has offered to help in that regard. So Dave and I are meeting later this week, and we're going to go over all the details and start following up with school counselors.
Okay, well, first off, we decided we're gonna be the cool team because everyone else has team names and we didn't have one. But I'll be really quick since it's one. Basically, our goal this year has been to upgrade the quality of the speakers that come and talk. So I hope that you guys have noticed that we've had really awesome speakers come. We're actually booked through June 3rd, and we just kind of today started to talk about getting speakers lined up for the rest of the year. That's it.
Okay, all right, that wraps it up. We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.